Many people who are in a great relationship will give the advice that it's a good idea to be friends first. And the idea is that there's this foundation of friendship that is established before you sprinkle all that romance on top, so that in those tough, challenging times you have that friendship to fall back on and to carry you all through. So today we're going to be talking about the friend into boyfriend phenomenon, because I recently got an email from someone and she said, you know, we were friends, everything was great, and we started dating and starts acting all weird. We've heard this before, right? It's a common thing. So why does that happen? There's actually a very scientific explanation for that, and it has to do with our brains and the way our brains actually work and function and think. So we actually think in maps or webs of interconnectedness. So when you look at a daisy, you don't just see a daisy. You see a daisy and your brain accesses all of your memories, thoughts, and opinions and experiences of a daisy. So when you're just friends with someone, that in his mind, that friendship is connected to all of his friendship experiences, which tend to be a little bit light. And then when you transfer into the dating or girlfriend stage, now you are connected to all of his memories and his past experiences and neural pathways that have to do with relationships, which could be a little bit heavier. So sometimes a man is dealing with some issues that have come up and he needs to process them. Now, this is the great thing about being in a real loving relationship, because you get to process things from the past, because we know that when we're dating someone new, things from our past kind of come up, you know, those insecurities or expectations or when we were hurt, and maybe we do project it a little bit on the new guy in our life. But it is a place for those to come up, to find healing, to be processed. So it's not totally scary when those things come up. But what do you do when you're faced with a guy who's a friend, start dating him, he starts acting weird? First thing to do is to realize, okay, wait a second. Am I behaving differently? Because now he is attached to a different set of neural pathways in my mind, and maybe I have different expectations or insecurities, or I'm not communicating the way I would have when we were just friends. So the first step is to kind of own maybe your shift in the relationship. The second thing is to try and reconnect to the friendship. They don't have to be separate. We can form a connection between them. So think back to the memories of when you were friends, what was going on there, how you felt, and think about, okay, if he treated me like this when we were friends, how would I react? Or if he told me that he was doing this to a girl that he was dating when we were friends, what would I say? I might say, hey, it seems like you really like that girl. Why are you not calling her? She hasn't done anything wrong. I think you should talk to her. Or, you know, if you have the nerve to dare yourself to then speak to him as a friend, you know, I didn't like that, and I'm wondering what's going on. Do you need anything? I actually had an incident with my husband, who was a friend who became a boyfriend and eventually my husband. And about 2 months after we started dating, he called me up, he asked me out, and I said, I am sick, I cannot see you, I can't talk, I gotta go. And then he didn't call again for 10 days. In fact, he didn't call. I ran into him at a party, which was just awful and embarrassing. He had even grown a mustache while we were apart. So I was like, who the fuck are you? What happened to this great guy that I started dating and I thought we had a real relationship? And then I just stopped and I said, you know, okay, this is Rodolfo, he is my friend. And I said, you know, I did not appreciate that you didn't call. I felt like when we were friends, you would have called, you would have seen if I needed something, and you just didn't, and I'm disappointed. I don't know. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He started opening up about what was going on for him, and he said, you know, all of a sudden I started feeling all this expectation and this pressure, and I didn't want to be bogged down, so I just didn't deal with it. And I'm so sorry. How can I make it up to you? And he worked his butt off to make it up to me, and good thing he did. So when you're faced with this situation, you ask yourself, how has my behavior changed since we've started dating? Do I need to own something? Do I need to shift maybe my approach here? And how can I reconnect to that friendship? You know, we don't have to just leave it behind and cut all those friendship cords. We can reconnect and intertwine that with the relationship. And then is there something that you needed to say? I'm Jessica Sabatini from FindingMyRealLove.com. Remember, real love is out there. never settle for less.